Бортовое питание.
Зажигание.
Зажигание кислород.
Предварительно.
Предварительно.
Промежуточное.
Промежуточное.
Главное, подъем.
Главное, подъем.
Нашел контакт подъема. Двигатель центрального строя. Главное, подвинить тяги.
Порядок самочувствия хороший.
Принято.
Параметры конструкции ракеты на
30 секунд. Двигатели первой и второй ступени работают нормально.
40.
На борту порядок самочувствия хороший.
Или устойчивые.
Принято.
Hello YouTube, it's time for another review here on Watch On channel. My name is Anders and today I'm going to review a very special watch. The watch for today is this Werenbach Spaceborn, and if you don't know Werenbach, they're a micro brand from Switzerland and they make watches out of space rockets. So basically the dial is a cut off from a space rocket, and this one is the Spaceborn model number 3. They made, I believe, 4 or 5 models. They started on Kickstarter and they got very successfully funded on Kickstarter and managed to get overfunded by several 100,000 Swiss francs. And now for a while that this Werenbach Spaceborn watch has been out there. This is the model number 3, and actually a funny curiosity about this watch and the Werenbach brand is that they actually got the Danish astronaut Andreas Mogensen, who traveled to the International Space Station, to wear one of these watches in space. So actually the Werenbach watch has been in space, and in this space tradition they follow down the tradition of course, Bolivar and most significantly the Omega Speedmaster. But before we get into the different details about this watch, let me just show you the packaging very fast. So it comes in this nice leather box here. Of course, in an outer box, that is just a cardboard box. So you get the outer box there, and then you get this leather box. It's like almost like a leather pouch, actually, more than maybe a box. It could actually make a nice traveling case for a watch. And then it's fitted in here. And a very cool thing is that you also get the part of the booster of the rocket, which the dial of my watch is cut from. So you actually get it here, which is very, very cool. And then you get the warranty and stuff like that here. So getting back to the watch. It's actually the dial which is the big attraction of this watch. So this dial was cut from the booster of the rocket. So this is the booster which catapults or blasts the rocket out into space. And the special thing about this particular watch is that they made only 300 examples of this model number 3 of the Spaceborn line. As you can see here, this is the 0005 2017. So only 10 of the numbered watches, which makes this quite rare. So let's have some dimensions of this watch. So the case is just about 40 millimeters in diameter. Thickness a very nice 12. Lug width is 19, which is a bit annoying. 20 would be better, but 19. And from lug to lug we get a very comfortable 46 millimeters. So this is all in all a watch which will fit most wrists. If you have very, very big, large wrists, then this may not be for you. If you have a normal sized, if I may, wrist size, then it's absolutely no problem for you to wear this watch. If we look at the dial, which is of course the most interesting thing about this watch, what we get here is a very simple dial. You get the hour, minute and second hand, of course. You get a date window at 3 o'clock with a magnifying glass. You get different information. You can see the orbit time here. So after 8 minutes and 49 seconds, then the space rocket will be in orbit in space. And then you get the minute numbers in here, as well as the minute markings. You get the hour markings here, which is applied luminous material. Also, you get lume in the hands. Here you get details from the Soyuz, which is the rocket that it comes from. Actually, the guy who owns Werenbach, he traveled to Kazakhstan, and then back there he cut off pieces from the rocket which landed in the desert in Kazakhstan, and from that he made all the different dials. So this is a dial which has been in space, as you can see. You get the Werenbach logo here, which is pretty cool. The name Werenbach is pretty cool for a watch brand, in my opinion. And also you get, of course, the Spaceborn. So the interesting thing, again, from this angle, you can really see how textured the dial is, because it's painted. So it's actually cut directly from the spaceship or the rocket booster from the rocket, which blows astronauts into space, and then they travel up to the International Space Station, ISS. So very cool textured dial. It almost could look like kind of a moon surface. So this is, of course, anti-reflective coated sapphire crystal. You get a very nice leather strap. You get a signed buckle here. A nice thing about this leather strap is that you get different information about the space travel inside here, and you get quick release pin buckles. The case back is a screw down case back, and here you have the numbering. You have that it's from the space mission to ISS. It's the Soyuz. It's a manned space mission, so you get all the information here. Nice signed rotor here with Werenbach, and the logo and the Geneva stripes here. On the movement, very nice looking STP movement, which I will get into in a little while. 5 atmospheres water resistance, as you can see here, which is 50 meters. Also the crown, very nicely signed. If we look into the case just before I get into the movement, so the case has this also this laser-etched space stuff here, and also it has this very futuristic kind of spaceship look. It's very simple. It's sandblasted case here, and you get these kind of very modernistic locks, and also the whole design, slightly domed sapphire crystal here. So all in all, a very futuristic looking watch, but also a very tool-like looking watch, in my opinion. So if we should classify this watch, it would probably fit into the whole class of field watches, in my opinion, because, well, it has the whole design of a very simple field watch. And what the big thing about this watch is, of course, the dial and the history, and you're holding a piece of a space rocket in your hands, and you're wearing a piece of space rocket on your wrist. And that is really the thing about this watch. Is it could be regarded kind of a gimmick to some, because it's not a very, in my honest opinion, a very exciting watch. It's not an exciting design or exciting anything about this watch. It's a very kind of anonymous watch, but the whole story about the watch is very interesting. Actually, they decided that they wanted actually to have a Japanese movement, but later on, because they got funded so much money, they decided to actually put in a Swiss movement. And the movement in this watch is the STP-1-11. This is a Swiss-made movement. It's made from by the company, which is, I believe, is a newer company, or a company that is supplying movements to a lot of watch brands now, because they're competing with Sellita and the ETA, which has ended their supply of movements to companies outside of Swatch Group. It's called Swiss Technology Production, and it's actually a clone of the very famous ETA 2824. It's a 44-hour power reserve movement. It has a frequency of 28,000 beats per hour. It has 26 joules, and it has a precision of -1 to +16 seconds a day. And I must say that's very nice for a watch at this price range, and I believe it costs around just about 600 Swiss francs, which is just about the same in US dollars and a little less in euro. To get a fully Swiss watch with a Swiss movement instead of a Japanese movement is very, very nice. Okay, so this is how the Werenbach Spaceborn model number 3 limited edition to only 10 examples looks on my wrist. I have a wrist size of 7.1 inches, which is 17.5 to 18 centimeters. And you can see it fits me very, very well. I have a what we could probably call a completely normal size wrist for a grown man. Not small and not very big, and it fits me very, very well. It's a very comfortable watch to wear. I must say that the leather strap, it's comfortable and it feels high quality, but it takes a little while to actually break in to really get nice and soft on the wrist. It needs to absorb some more oil from my skin. But all in all, a very interesting watch with the story, and then it's been in space. Everything is nicely designed. It's quite accurate for a watch at this price range, I would say, because you can easily find watches with a lot less accuracy at this price point. So it also has quite a nice lume, which I'm going to show you now. Okay, and here you have the lume. As you can see, you have all the hour markings loomed. The 9 and the 3 is with a smaller lume pip, so you can see where the 3 and 9 is, and you also got lume on the hands. It's a very nice green bright lume. My camera isn't the best at picking up lume, but I must say this is a very nice lume, and it holds out for quite a long time. My problem, of course, is that I think it's a problem that they don't really mark the 12 o'clock. So if you don't have the watch on your wrist, then you would have some trouble seeing which is 12 and which is 6. So I was quite happy that I picked it up from Kickstarter and that I got a limited edition. It's a nice watch with a funny story that you can talk about all the time. Everything works really nice with this watch. It feels good quality. And also it's much more expensive. I believe they cost around 11 to 1300 Swiss francs. So actually I got it for about half price. I believe that. But I've seen some on eBay. If you're looking for this watch, you can either visit eBay or you can go to Werenbach's homepage to look. This is my own watch. I'm not sponsored in any way by Werenbach. I bought this for my own money. So everything is actually very nice, and the story of this watch is the big attraction. I just think, like I said a little earlier in this review, I think it's a little bit boring. I think they could have done more with the design. They could have done more to make it a little more exciting looking. I think they rely a lot of the story and the dial of this watch, but that's the main attraction. I think they could have done more to really do something about the whole design of the case, and also probably do something about the dial or the inner chapter ring inside here with the different markings. It's a little bit boring, but still a nice fun watch to have in your collection. So this was my review here on Watch On channel of the Werenbach Spaceborn watch. I don't believe there's too many reviews of this watch out there, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Remember to subscribe to my channel to always get more videos. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. Follow my blog, Instagram and Facebook. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. You can also email me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon.